All right, I thought I'd go over the sort of famous UFO case, a mass sighting case from 1966, Atwater, Ohio. I thought I'd revisit it, and I've got a report here from a former deputy, Portage County, Ohio deputy, that may have some more extra information about it. I did an original video about the Atwater UFO incident, and basically I'm revisiting it right now. See if we can get any extra information through this deputy's report. Now, he was a deputy from 1985 to 1989, but he is going to go through some information about the incident here, though, that he knows about. So let's see what we can get from this. This was from 2000. His report is from 2005. Of course, the incident happened in 1966. Atwater, Ohio, famous UFO incident. Famous police. It's a police chase and everything. On April 17th, 1966, one of the greatest UFO chases occurred with police in northeastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. By the way, this is also the incident that inspired the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. At 05:10 hours, I'm not sure what that means, on April 17th, 1966, two Portage County deputies in one car were dispatched to drive towards the Summit County line to check out a call from Summit County Sheriff's Department about a strange light or craft in the sky, heading east down Route 224 toward Portage County. All right, so while en route, they stopped to check on what appeared to be an abandoned car with antennas and full of radio and electronic equipment. It had a strange emblem on the door in the shape of a diamond with lightning bolts and other symbols. While checking out the car, a large luminous object arose from beyond the north bank of the state route and hovered above them. Both deputies described it as ice cream cone shaped, with the ice cream being solid and the cone being pointing down. Seeming to be mostly light. Okay, yeah. Both instinctively jumped back into the patrol car. The object then started moving east down Route 224 toward Atwater Center, and they started following it. They also called their radio operator, and who told them to keep it in sight. Another deputy in a single unit car was in Atwater at the intersection of Waterloo Road and Stroop Road and called to say he saw it. It was about 800 feet up, and the cone of light beneath it appeared to be blue to purple in color. He heard no sound but noticed static on his radio until the object had passed several miles to the east. The two pursuing deputies in car P13 followed it east on 224 to Deerfield Circle, then southeast on State Route 14. At the diner on the Circle, a night cook and waitress both saw the object and attempted to hide behind a car in the parking lot. As the object proceeded down Route 14, across the corner of Mahoning County and into Columbiana County, two Salem patrolmen were sent to the edge of town to see what all the radio calls were about. They described seeing a bright object about 1,000 feet up, going from their left to right, or as they were looking north, west to east, and it made no noise, but had a trail of bluish colored smoke or light trailing behind and below it. They watched it for a few minutes and listened to the deputies on the radio, but the object veered east following Route 165 and did not enter the Salem city. After it had been out of sight for 15 to 20 minutes, they both saw and heard jets, 2 or 3, traveling at a high rate of speed from the northwest heading south, then turning east as if following the object. There was the Youngstown 459th Troop Carrier Wing, Youngstown AFR located in that direction. As P13 approached the intersection of Route 165 and Route 14, State Route 14, a patrolman from the city of East Palestine saw the object and had been listening to the radio. He pulled out behind P13 and joined the chase. Both cars now stated that the speed was between 85 and 105 miles per hour. As they approached the county line, they fell well behind the object a couple of times, and it would seem to slow down to wait for them. What? So, let's see. They approached the county line. They fell well behind the object a couple of times, and it would seem to slow down to wait for them? They crossed into Pennsylvania, where Route 14 becomes Route 51, and continued southeast. An officer patrolling at Conway, Pennsylvania, saw the object coming and went down to Route 65. 51 becomes 65, to see if it was an aircraft having trouble. Being from Pennsylvania, his radio did not pick up the Ohio unit's chase. As the object shot overhead, he saw the approaching Ohio cars. The object came to a hover over Harmony Township, and all 4 officers sat at a gas station to discuss what was going on. So then they heard the jets. One came in and flew over the object, while the other 2 started circling around. Oh, gosh. What? Wow. The Conway officer called his dispatch and asked him to call the Pittsburgh airport to see if they had any activity going on. Then, as the first jet turned to make another pass over the object's cone of light turned orange and it shot straight up into the air and disappeared in a couple of seconds. Whoa. All four of the officers heard a high-pitched whinnying sound when it changed color, and their hairs all stood up as it shot up. Well, this doesn't sound like anything man-made at all, does it? This is crazy. Like, for real. Like, also, all of their cars shut off at the same instant, though they all easily restarted when tried. The Conway radio operator called back and said some military man at the airport wanted to talk to them. They went to a nearby police station, which was Rochester, and took the call. The Rochester officer stated that the man said they had scrambled jets, but another man, a colonel, as he identified himself, came on and said that there were no jets scrambled and that they had probably been chasing the moon. What? Oh my gosh. Chasing the moon. Okay, well, we know that's not true. That's just silly. That's the silliest thing ever. When the Portage deputies returned to Ravenna, where their headquarters and jail was, they were told to sit tight. A Major Quintanilla, USAF, U.S. Air Force, was driving up from Dayton to interview them. In the meantime, the sheriff started his own investigation into the events. In all, of all the officers involved, 2 Portage deputies, 2 Salem patrolmen, 1 East Palestine patrolman, and 1 Conway police officer, 6 of them were interviewed by a detective from Portage County, then by Major Quintanilla, a Major Donald Kehoe, USMC retired, William Wetzel from NICAP, Professor William Powers of Northwestern University, and director of the Dearborn Observatory, and various newspaper reporters. So you can just imagine how big of a deal this was. The detective that investigated this found elevated levels on his CD survey meter and scorched earth in the field where the deputies claim it rose out of. What? Huh. And there were the photos taken by a local police chief from Mantua, which were discounted by the official investigators. Why were they discounted? Yeah, there is one real photo of it that I know of that I put as the thumbnail in my original video that this experienced detective found compelling. So the detective found the photos compelling, but the official investigators discounted it? Like, what? And there are the recorded tapes from the interviews that never made it into the official government investigation because the sheriff wanted his to be an independent investigation and not to come to the attention of the military, which it did not. I was a deputy. So here's the one that's doing this report. I was a deputy at Portage County from 1985 to 1989 and came across these files while cleaning up old files for removal to the new facility. They were just like, the files were just like laying there all that time. I was to dispose of all the case material that was not related to open cases or those involving deaths of violence. But this was just too good to throw out. Much of the material is on the NICAP website. Just search under Portage County, Ohio UFO chase. However, what I found was the independent investigation the sheriff had done, and which was never turned over to the investigators. At the request of the sheriff himself. So I have witness statements made on the sheriff office's report forms, the detective's report, and material never before examined by UFOologists or skeptics. This was a significant case in 1966, and the chase scene in Close Encounters, the movie, where the UFO goes over the lead actor's pickup and it stalls, and as the object leaves, it is being chased by police cars, was inspired by this very chase. The Portage officers followed the object for 86 miles. Wow. It was chased by 6 police officers, seen by many civilian witnesses, was chased by Air Force jets, and resulted in 3 of the officers leaving the profession. 2 quit, 1 was fired, and he got a divorce as well, all because of this chase. It says here, I am preparing to include this in a book with all of the new details, reports, and the evidence which was never before released, along with some other interesting events from eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. But in the meantime, I am sending copies of the documents and tapes to the UFO Center for their examination. Let's see. Well, okay, so there you go. There's an updated, bit of an updated report on the Atwater, Ohio UFO police chase incident. I mean, this is crazy. Went from northeastern Ohio to Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania. So, man, one of the most famous UFO incidents is that I think. I mean, it's one of the best. It's a good very well documented case. Obviously, something really strange was up there. You know, they were chasing a really strange object. And well, I just thought it would be interesting to revisit this. As always, leave your comments, thoughts below. Anything that you would like to add that wasn't in either this video or my original video. And anybody that was like part of this, anybody out there, like any kind of witness that was part of this way back then, and that would like to tell their story about this, definitely feel free to in the comments if you'd like to. That is. This is what I still think this is one of the most interesting UFO incidents that I've come across, and I've come across hundreds and hundreds of these incidents. I mean, they're all fascinating in their own way. I just think this is a really well documented one. It's a very legitimate one. It's a mass sighting, a very, very strange object. Um, I've heard that it was like shaped kind of like the top of a flashlight, like with the light beam on the bottom. Um, or the ice or like cone shaped or ice cream cone shaped. Like it's so strange. Um, the light beam, I guess, was the cone shape, and like the top was like I don't know how I don't really know how to describe it honestly. Um, it sort of looked disc shaped on the top though, like from the pictures that I've seen, or like round shaped maybe. Um, it was definitely like cone shaped, maybe with the in terms of like the light beam part. Um, like the top of the actual craft though, I don't know. What was it? It's just a very strange shape to it. I don't know. Are there any more pictures? I'm gonna see if I can find some more pictures besides the one that I know of. And once again, feel free to add any thoughts and comments below that you would like to about this incident in particular. The 1980s or 1966 Atwater, Ohio UFO incident. So it's just such a strange and unique case. It still fascinates I'm sure it still fascinates a lot of people to this day. Definitely fascinates me. I will be back with more UFO and related content here soon. Thank you for watching.